Hi guys, this is a DualShock 4 controller that I picked up recently is not working. It doesn't charge and it only turns on when the USB cable is connected. So in this video I'm going to be trying to repair it. When I opened it up, it looks like the previous owner had tried replacing the battery at some point and ended up ripping the battery connector clean off the board. Then they glued it back on again, but it doesn't seem to have been making electrical contact, so the battery wasn't actually connected to anything. After removing the connector from the board and scraping off as much of the remaining glue residue as I can using my tweezers, I switch over to a Q-tip dampened in isopropyl alcohol to clean off the rest. I want to have this area as clean as possible before I reattach the battery connector. On the left you can see what an undamaged working board should look like, and on the right you can see this board. To reconnect the top pin of the connector, the easiest way is going to be to scrape off some of the coating on the board at this point and join it to the pin using solder. For the lower pin, I can either scrape off some of the coating around here and connect them with a wire, or run a wire over here to the bottom of this capacitor. I'm using the tip of the small flathead screwdriver to scrape off the coating to get to the copper underneath. I just need to have a small area of bare copper so that I can solder a wire between the track and the pin on the connector. Then I'm going to do the same here on the PCB next to where the top pin sits. With the coating removed, I'm applying a little bit of flux from a flux pen to help with solder flow, and then applying a small amount of solder to each of the newly created pads. Because the mounting pads on the side are basically gone, I'm applying some super glue to the board underneath where the connector sits to help keep it fixed to the board. And I'll just soak up any excess using a Q-tip. Now I'm just going to position the connector on the board and hold it with my thumb for a few seconds until the adhesive starts to set enough for it to stay in place. To connect the bottom pin of the connector to the new pad, I snipped the leg off an LED, soldered one end to the pin and the other end to the pad. And then for the top pin, I was able to just bridge the gap with some solder. So here's how it looks after the repair. I also scraped off some of the coating on the PCB here and added some more solder between the board and the mounting pad to help keep the connector in place. Now, after putting the controller back together again, it starts to charge when I connect the USB cable, and when I disconnect the cable, the controller now turns on and stays on. So I hope this helps if you've got a controller with a similar problem. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.